Hey everyone, welcome in. This is Julie Maxon, the main stamper. I am here for your Saturday inspiration card featuring a fun fold. And this is a little bit about a slide and lock. These are the two samples that I have created, which I'm going to show you how to make. It is a fun fold. It is called slide and lock, and it is so much easier than it might look. But I have some tips and tricks. It's going to help you create a really amazing card. So I'm just making sure that I am live. My mic is working. Okay, perfect. I think I'm good here. Just say hi as you're jumping on. I would love to know if you're watching. I am going to be putting this up on YouTube, so if you're watching on YouTube later on, thank you so much for joining in on this card making class. Again, this is free to watch. It's free to learn. And if you're on my email newsletter list, you're going to get a free PDF tutorial with a picture of the cards and the recipe that shows you the directions and the instructions and all of that good stuff. So if you're not on my newsletter yet, you want to ask me how to get on there so that you can make sure you're getting all of the good stuff. So let me just make sure one more time. I see Jess and Linda. Hi, Elisa and Isabella. Okay, awesome. We're good. Let's get over to my card because this is going to be so much fun. I love fun folds, right? Fun is in the name. All right, we're transitioning over to the workspace. So as I mentioned earlier, this is what my PDF tutorial looks like that you'll get in the email. You will get a picture of the card, dimensions, supplies used, directions, notes, all the good stuff. So you can print that out if you so desire. I love that. Again, these are the two cards, and I made them in two different colors because I love color. I play with color all the time over on Positive Paper Crafters. We have a Fresh Freesia with Blackberry Bliss version, and this is Cajun Craze with Petal Pink. Really gorgeous color combinations. I would love to know which one you prefer, the purple, or we'll call this peach. Purple and peach. These are your two options today. Now this gorgeous flower right here, I didn't stamp this, but I certainly could have. So what I did do was I took the Favored Flowers Designer Series paper, which is free during celebration, and this is the piece of paper that I worked with. And I took coordinating products from our mini catalog. This is the Fragrant Flowers bundle. You get a stamp set. This stamp may look really familiar. If you're looking at this and thinking, I just saw that recently, you sure did. You saw it in the Designer Series paper. This is the same stamp that goes with the image in our designer paper. So of course there's matching dies, right? And of course the matching dies work on our designer paper. Look at this. We can cut these out, and that's exactly what I did to get the flowers for this card. Now if you don't have this paper, or you run out of paper because you don't have this paper for forever, right? You're using it up, it's consumable. You can get the stamp set, stamp, color, and die cut. And did I mention that we're going to be using this little die as well? And it also cuts out a little flower in this 12 by 12 piece of paper. Now I did some math at some point along the way. I believe that you can get 6 of these big ones full and 8 of the little ones. And then of course you can use the side ones and use them on the side of your card so that there's flowers peeking in. So don't ever throw away all those scraps. And then on the back side, there's always pretty paper too. So there's so many options, so many products. And I love that Stampin' Up! Makes them work together and coordinate so beautifully. All right, so this is part of my online class as well. I do have an online class, and we're exploring fun folds from January through May. So online class friends, you have a card kit in the mail, and you may have one of 2 colors. So it's going to be Cracker Jack surprise. You're either going to get the Cajun, which is what I have here, or you're going to get the Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to be putting the Cajun one together here with you today, but you're already going to have your card base scored. So it's kind of like a gatefold, but a little bit different because it's not centered, right? You're going to have a white insert. This is meant to go on the inside of your card. And you're going to have all your pieces and parts cut up for you, scored for you. I'm making it so easy. This is just great. So the card recipe that I'm handing out, you're going to have all the dimensions and all the scoring for all of these pieces as well. And this is paper also from that same paper pack that's free. Lots of great colors in it. So we're using those colors as well. You can see that on this card. Now let's talk about how this lock and lock works really quick, because once we get to assembly, it's going to be over in a heartbeat. So this is the side of the card. I'm kind of showing you down. If you bow it and bend it a little bit like this, your sliding mechanism is going to come off. It's going to slide easier and it's going to come off easier. If you hold it flat, it's like locked in place. It is hard to move. Like it's hard to get this off of here. So you do want to bow it a little bit. and pull this off. So this little mechanism comes off. So it is just like a separate little piece. We'll go through how we create that. And then you've got a really pretty little card that you can open up. You can put your sentiment on the inside. I decorated with a small flower there. And then to reassemble it, you're going to use these little folds here that hold our mechanism in place. And you're going to line them up into the gate area here. So you're basically just lining them up, and you can do this. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of looking and trying to do this at the same time. So you're just going to line them up in here, and then it slides right back on, and it holds onto the card, and it keeps it closed. It's like a belly band except different. So let's talk about how we create this. I'm actually going to score a card base with you really quickly, because I want you to see how to do this if you're just doing this at home. So according to my directions over here, we're going to score the card base in the landscape position at 1.5 and 5 3/4. So this is landscape position. This is the long way. This is your 8.5. We're going to come to 1.5, and we're going to score it with the light trimmer blade. Then we're going to move it to 5 3/4, which is way farther than we normally go. And we're going to score it there. And those two score lines are going to equal our card base. But before you get crazy and fold them together and burnish them down, what I want you to do, and it is in your PDF directions, is to just kind of gently hold this together. See, I still have it kind of bowed open. Gently hold it together, because you don't want these flaps to overlap. So what you need to do is you need to like reinforce the fact that you don't want them to overlap. And then once you've got them in the middle but not overlapping, you're going to push with your bone folder out, because you want that crease to be out farther. You don't want them, again, if they overlap, it's going to be really hard to open your gate. You're going to have a hard time getting your mechanism inside. So you just want to make sure that these two flaps don't overlap. They can meet up, but they can't be like so close together. So that is how you're going to score your base. And then once you've got that going, you're basically just decorating. It's so simple. So let's grab out all of our parts and pieces. I'm going to set my insert aside. Now, keeping in mind, the bottom is actually the smaller flap here. And I have some beautiful Designer Series paper. We're just going to glue this on, make it pretty. Now, of course, with any card that you see a design for, feel free to change up the color of the cardstock, change up your Designer Series paper, change up your themes, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and layer these on here and get this part done. And right away, we have a beautiful card. I love these colors together. Now, I could have picked a petal pink base, but the petal pink paper may have disappeared a little bit too far into it. So I thought Cajun Craze was the choice to go with. And Cajun kind of matches this flower a little bit better as well. All right, let's talk about what we've got going on here. Let me layer these together here real quick too. I like to do the easy work first, right? So you're just basically, you've got some layers, you're putting them together. This piece right here, designer paper, not designer paper, cardstock and white cardstock could be designer paper. You could put designer paper here against your color cardstock base and then do more things to decorate the front of it. So this piece right here is just this piece. So you can change them up as well. This is the piece that's going to slide across, but we have to create the mechanism, and that's where all these little squares come in. So we've got some 2.5-inch squares, and this, when you see the card recipe, you're going to see matching cardstock. When I say these are your pieces, you're just matching the cardstock so that it all goes together beautifully. You are going to cut 2 of these white squares at 2 1/4, and you're going to score them in half. So I already have these kind of scored in half. I'm just going to reinforce my little creases here. So again, 2 1/4 here, scoring that in half, or at least 2 1/2. Wait, hold the phone, let me look. White, 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 white. 2.5. 2.5. These are 2.5 scored at 1 1/4. I didn't think the math was adding up correctly in my head. I'm like, if they were 2 1/4, I wouldn't be scoring it at 1 1/4. These are 2 1/4-inch squares. I'm sorry, 2.5-inch squares. These are 2.5-inch squares, and we have 2 of them, and I've just folded them both in half, right? So I've just made cute little notes, right? So they look like long books right now in half, and it doesn't matter which way you go in half because obviously they're in half and they're a square. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with one of our bases here, and we're going to add some adhesive to one side of this folded in half paper. I'm going to keep this as the crease right here. I'm going to keep the crease to the middle, and I'm going to keep the open flap to the outside, and I'm going to cover this up right here. So I've just put this on, and if I were to open this up, it would look like this. kind of like a little bit of a book, right? So that lines up there nicely. And then I'm just going to put the adhesive on this half, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now the crease is going to go to the middle, and it's going to butt up against this first one that I had in here. So the crease goes completely down the center here on both of these. The flaps open just like this. So if I were to set this up, you're going to see it looks like a little book, right? We've got the cardstock on the back. We've got the whites here just like this. And this is the cream filling. I want you to remember this as you're doing this. This is the cream filling in the middle of our cookie sandwich, because I love cookies. So we're going to put some nice adhesive on here. I think I got some on my workspace. And we're just going to bring in this square, and we're going to put this down here on top, and we just made our cookie sandwich. I'm going to press this all together. Okay, so you've got cardstock that's colorful, and inside you've got, and it opens up just slightly on either end, right? So if I like bend this a little bit so you can kind of see what we got going on right here, it looks just like so. And this is what's going to slide in to our flaps on our card base. We're going to line up, so you can see one V is going to line up right here, and the other open V is going to line up on the bottom. If I can get that in there, we're going to open that up on the bottom. I'm trying to not move it around too much because the glue probably isn't super set yet. I'm going to bow my card here a little bit and just kind of slide this down. So it's sliding. It's your slide and lock, right? And here we go. So here is the bones of our card. And at this point, because this is in here pushing against your card base, you can actually bring your bone folder back in and kind of reinforce that outward crease this way and the outward crease this way, because this middle piece pushes that gatefold apart just a little bit, and that's very helpful. Because again, so you can see the flaps actually have more of a crease now than they did when I even scored them the first time. All right, so we are going to decorate this. Now, of course, this could be stamped on. You could definitely do whatever you want to it, but we're going to put this pretty flower on here, just like our original one. And by using the designer series paper, we didn't even have to stamp this today. This is just kind of like easy peasy, go and go. So beautiful, right? Now the thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that this is on your card when you put this on your sliding lock mechanism. Otherwise, if you were to center this on here, you may end up with this really low on your card. So as you can see in my sample, it's up a little bit higher. But the reality is the bottom of this is actually going to line up more with the bottom of this. So I recommend you put your adhesive here on this sliding lock piece, and then layer this over top of it. Make sure you have room so it's not showing through. And then your slide and lock piece is on there just like that. Isn't that beautiful? So quick and easy, right? Again, everything's probably not super tight here. But I'm going to slide that off, and then we can put our white insert in the middle. Of course, you can stamp this as well. Now, I did die cut that little flower too, which I thought was so cute. And we want to keep in mind, before you do anything in here, you want to make sure you know top, bottom, right? So you're not surprised unpleasantly when you decorate it and then open it up. Now, I use this on the bottom down here of my little insert. I thought it was really cute. What you want to do is you want to make sure you have enough adhesive that you're catching all the little edges of that. Now, if you were stamping, it would probably be a little bit easier. But because this is going to slide in and out, this could catch a piece of this designer paper and kind of open it up a little bit. And I did have that problem here, and I had to re-glue down my purple flower just a little bit. So you can definitely, keep all these little tips in mind. And then when you're ready to put it back together again, you're just going to kind of hold it open a little bit. You are going to line up that little V right here on one side, line up that little V here on the other side, and bow it and slide it, and now it's closed. And of course, you could add more to this as well, because we could have put a sentiment on here. I didn't put a sentiment on mine, but I saw that in the celebration brochure right here. They use the stamp set, the matching stamp set that's in the mini catalog, and they did friend right here with a little bow. So I could definitely put a little sentiment here in the middle of my flowers if I wanted to. But that is a quick look at the slide and lock. How awesome is this? Now, before you go, I want to show you the original card that inspired. I went to a card class last weekend and we made this card. How cute is this? So when I say try out different designer series paper and themes, I am saying try them out. This is a really cute little farm card. My little piggies come across here. So those are from the free celebration paper as well. We've got some garden vegetables here. And here's the inside of this one. So have fun doing the inside as well. So this was my little farm card that inspired me to try the slide and lock. But as you're trying out the slide and lock, think about other stamps that you could use. I think critters would be really cute. And I wanted to point out bears, because there are different ways you can actually do this as well. So this bear right here would fit nicely this way, but this bear right here would fit nicely in the portrait position. So if you put your card going up and down this way, your bear could slide up and down like so. So think about trying different landscape and portrait positions as well. So I think critters like squirrels, fat cats with balloons, silly geese, owls, the adorable owls. This little guy looks like he's flying. If he was flying across the card and the card moved, that would be really cute. And speaking of moving, if you have something like a boat, a train, the motorcycle, a bicycle, all things that move back and forth, they're also going to be really great to put on your slide and lock cards. So there are so many different options, so many different ways that you can try out this card. I just wanted you to have lots and lots of ideas. Now, I haven't taken a really great dive into making tons of samples yet, but as I'm pulling out stamps, I'm like, oh, I could use this one, I could use this one, I could use this one. And I think you're going to have to try this too. I'm seeing a whole bunch of oh, thank you so much. You guys are loving it. That's so cool. I love the flowers because of course they're beautiful. I think the flowers really appeal to us, but have a play with some fun critters, have a play with some balloons, things that float. Hot air balloon. I mean, like, my mind just explodes with ideas and I don't have enough time to do all the crafting that I really, 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 really want to do. So thank you so much for joining me for this class. This was a quick look at a fun fold card. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Again, if you want the recipe, the card recipe with all the dimensions, just make sure you're on my email newsletter list. You can send me a private message. You can, make a comment here in the post. I will message you privately. We will get your email set up so that you can get that newsletter later today. And this has been a lot of fun. I will be back at the end of February for another look at a new and different fun fold. So that's it for me for today. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay crafty, and I'll talk to you soon. Everybody take care. Bye.